Uh, why does James Stewart have a KTM neck brace on? He literally has a Red Bull KTM neck brace. Milestone? Hello? Every single one of these dudes has a Red Bull KTM neck brace on. What is this? This has got to be a bug of some sort. What is this, dude? Oh my god, look at this. Can I zoom in? No, I can't. We got Timmy Ferry. Oh my god, look at this now. It's not on him now. What the bug was that, dog? Man, I'm too good with these words. Watch a dooski backtrack. What's up, my dudes? Great Legends DLC for Monster Energy Supercross 3. I got my audio in-game turned up. Hopefully you can hear this two-smoker. Okay, the one and only two-smoker in the whole game. Holy finish line. I was not expecting that. Okay, so this Legends DLC, hopefully this in-game audio is not too loud, but I had to turn it up for the two-smoker, you know what I'm saying, Dad? Had to turn it up for it. So this actually comes with this 1986 stadium, and it also comes with like 5 different riders, right? I'll go into that here in a second, but what I found to be really interesting, this is my first time getting into this DLC. I know quite a few people were like doing a little glitch, a little exploit to get it early and stuff, but this is my first time getting in here into it at all. So, yeah, this is interesting. So I got on this new this 1986, Anaheim 1986 Angel Stadium of California. So this is Anaheim 1986, dog. So this is when Def Leppard Hysteria album came out. Like, just picture this, dude. Just picture how crazy that is. Like, literally, Def Leppard Hysteria album just coming out. Like, it's a brand spanking new album. 1986, like, dog. That is legendary if I've ever heard of anything. But yeah, so when you actually get in here on the track, it's got a whole different visual effect to it. Like, they've tried to do a whole like old school stylized, you know, like literally like you're watching a really old movie or something. Like, I hope you can kind of notice that with the gameplay here. They've like done a whole like old stylized rusticy, I don't even know what you call it really, but there's definitely a like whole nother visual effect on this track that's not on any other track in this game. I didn't think this was actually going to be the way this was. I thought it was just going to be like normal, but just on an old school track, you know, but they've really tried to make it feel like a, you know, full-blown put you in the mood, put you in the vibe, put you in the really old school setting. They've almost done it to a point of like you're actually watching, you know, the footage of it from way back then. They've kind of done it like that because obviously real life hasn't changed. It's not like there was a visual effect on real life back then, but you know what I mean? Like, they've actually really tried to like put in a visual effect to really change the whole vibe of everything on this whole entire track. So this is really cool. So this Legends DLC is $9.99, right? So $10, and you get a whole track, okay? A whole track that's a really different vibe track on top of everything else. It really is like a, you know, something different. They got the actual hay bales instead of the tough blocks. You've got a lot of the jumps have an old school feel to them, right? This is not like any other Supercross track in this Supercross 3 game. It's not like you're just buying a modern day, you know, Monster Energy Cup track DLC or something like that, right? Like, they really tried hard, you can tell, to make the jumps like old school designed, like more so double style. You got one triple right here, but there ain't no like complex, you know, quad rhythms or anything crazy like that. So that's cool to see, giving you boys a nice little look at the hay bales over there. Some of them's actually wrapped up a little bit. That's pretty cool. You got some hay kind of, you know, scattered on the side of the track. So not only are you getting the visual effect with this track, you're also getting, the completely different kind of hay bale design, which gives it a whole vibe. The stadium itself feels like a stadium that's not currently in the game, like they built their whole own old school style stadium. And on top of all that, you've got completely different jump designs, completely different whoop designs, completely different like finish line banners and the little things going around the outside of the track like you used to see back in the day. So they really have done everything they could to try to make a old school style track. And I'm really proud of Milestone here for doing this to this extent to really give you this sort of feeling, right? The whoops are really, really small. So that's interesting to see. But just like these rhythms, they're like really, really old school style. It's cool to see. And not only that, but the only two-stroke in this entire game is on this, this Ricky Johnson, right? So the only two-stroke in the whole entire game. You can't even make a custom two-stroke, right? I'm guessing this is a CR250 two-stroke, right? I can't actually hear it, but I think that's what this is right here. So that's really cool to see, dude. It's kind of crazy that this is the only two-stroke in the whole game. That's insane. Like, it's just insane that they would go through the work to make a two-stroke in the game with one dude, but you can't make your own custom two-stroke. There's no two-strokes on any of the other Legends riders in this Legends DLC. So this is the only way you can ride with a two-stroke in this game, which is pretty insane when you think about it. Let's get this bad puppy in some first person, dog. Oh, dude, this is cool. Got that old school like you're riding on a CR 500, right? You got that kind of front fender style. That is really, really cool, dude. Wow, look at that. That's something else, dog. Yeah, so this is probably one of Milestone's most creative, best DLC they've ever come out with. Most of the time you're paying like $10 for just one new track that's like something you could just make in the track editor, right? A lot of times that's the way it is, like with the LA Coliseum and all of the different Monster Energy Cups that they always make for DLC. You can literally just make those tracks in the track editor. But with this, you're really getting a different one-of-a-kind track design. You're getting a two-stroke, literally one singular two-stroke, okay? You're not getting two strokes, you're just getting one two-stroke, all right? In a game that doesn't have any other two-strokes in it, so it kind of creates a little bit of a exclusiveness with this DLC, right? This is the only way you can ride with any kind of a two-stroke in Supercross 3, the game. And plus, you're also getting all the other Legends riders. So I'll go in there in a second and take a look at that. But yeah, I just really wanted to show this track off. This is really cool. Okay, so this is what we're looking at as far as all the different riders in this Legends DLC pack. We got some pretty cool stuff here, man. So we got Tim Ferry on the Kawasaki, right? We've got James Stewart on the Kawasaki 450. I know quite a few of us were sort of expecting it to maybe be like a Stewart on a KX 125 two-stroke or Stewart on the KX 250 two-stroke. I think that probably would have fit in here a little bit better than just James Stewart on the KX 450, right? I don't know. That's just my own personal opinion. So then we get to Davey Millsaps. I'm really confused on why they put Millsaps on the Rocky Mountain ATV MC KTM. That's just not what you think of as Millsaps at all. Like, if anything, you would think of Millsaps on a Suzuki or something like that, right? Or I don't know, maybe a Honda or something. You certainly wouldn't think of him on the KTM, right? But either way, just a little surprised by that. I don't know how this works whenever they go in there and try to get these Legends riders from forever ago and the certain bikes and the certain sponsors and the certain manufacturers that they're on in the game. I don't know how that works as far as like, what they're allowed to be on, what they're not allowed to be on. Like, I have no idea, right? I don't know how much freedom Milestone had with what bikes and what riders they could put together. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's just my own little take from it. But then we come down here to Ricky Johnson. So he's on Obviously, you can actually see it on the side of the bike up there. It says Honda 250, so that's the old school CR 252 stroke, right? So that's really put this Legends DLC up and above, right? And then we come over here to Grant Lakeston with the old school, got the blonde hair vibe going on. Oh my God. What was that? 08, 07? I can't remember the exact year, but so yeah, got him on the number 8 Yamaha, right? That's what you would think of as what Langston would be on and what he would be known for, right? That's the exact time period, the exact look, the exact bike when he won his outdoor title, right? 450. So that's what I mean by how when you think of Langston, this is what you think of, right? When you think of Millsaps, this is not really what you think of. You know what I mean? When you think of Tim Ferry, yeah, that's pretty much what you would think of. When you think of Ricky Johnson, yeah, that's what you would think of. Now with Stewart, yeah, you do think of Stewart on a Kawasaki, but do you necessarily put like Stewart on the KX450 as his most famous time frame? I don't know. I mean, I almost think Stewart when he was on the, the Yamaha even would have been a little more iconic because that's when he was winning his Supercross titles. He might have won one on the Kawasaki. I can't remember exactly when it was, but I don't know. I just feel like that was such a short time frame when Stewart was on the Kawasaki 4-stroke, right? Yeah, if you want to like put Stewart on the KX 125 or the KX 252 stroke, hell yeah. I mean, that would have been like really good. But I would have thought they either would have put Stewart on the KX 2 strokes or like the Yamaha or the Suzuki 4-stroke, right? I'm kind of confused on why they did the Kawasaki 4-stroke. That was such a narrow time frame. He was only really on the Kawasaki 4-stroke for like 2 years, 1 or 2 years, right? Whereas he was on the Kawasaki 2-strokes for like 4 or 5 years, 6 years. He was on the Yamaha for 3 or 4 years, right? He was on the Suzuki for 4 or 5 years. So I don't know. I mean, it's still cool. Like, that's still pretty iconic because, yeah, that was right in the hype of everything when it was Stewart versus Carmichael, and Stewart went from the KX 252 stroke to the KX 450. I mean, I get it. Like, it's still a cool version of Stewart, but I think the best way they could have done it was putting him on a 125 KX 2-stroke or a 250 KX 2-stroke. That would have been like the pinnacle of it, right? But I don't know. Definitely let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this DLC. I don't know. I just think this certainly opens up the doors for like future motocross games to really start going in this direction of like having old school tracks, whether it be like a 2006 style track or a 1996 style track or whatever kind of year of a legend, Supercross legend, or even some motocross legends, right? I just think this really has opened up the door here to potentially get all kinds of stuff. I mean, I thought it would have been really cool if they would have done like a old school DLC that had all of the dudes from the 80s and the 90s, right? And had a whole like series full of the older tracks. That would have been really cool. Like have a whole 12-round series of the old school tracks or something and have all the old school dudes on the 2-strokes. Or they could have done like a 1995 to 2005, right? Kind of the heyday of it all. 95 to 2005, like some Supercross tracks within those years, and have like Stewart on a 2-stroke, Carmichael on a 2-stroke, right? Have Wyndham in there, Reed in there on a 2-stroke. That would be a really, really cool Legends DLC type thing they could do in the future, but it's still cool to see. So either way, I think the Legends DLC is still worth it. Really excited to see what they do with the future games and what they can come up with. So just wanted to get in here and show it off a little bit. But yeah, man, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.